That's a very weird camera angle. Or not camera angle, light angle. There we go. That's a little bit better, I would think. Right? Can I put this in cup holder like so? There we go. That's a little bit better. Alrighty, for those of you who are able to tune in, hopefully we don't lose... Wow, my hair is really going. Hopefully we don't lose service. We're on I-10 headed due west towards Tallahassee right now. We're within an hour or so out. We're on our final approach, just like the title of this live stream says. On approach to the area right now. Lots of action. Lots of action. I've been passing the time looking at all the other live coverage, other storm chasers out there in the field as we speak. Lots of action. Multiple tornado warnings, multiple severe warnings. We've been seeing warm air advection down here very fast. For a while there, as I was driving up through central northern Florida in the peninsula, the temperature dropped from the 67 degrees, I believe it was, when we first initiated our earlier live stream. It's now back up 3 degrees in the last 45 minutes, so we are warming up. The environment is getting primed. Excellent southerly flow. The southerly flow is ridiculous off of the prefrontal winds, the prefrontal gradient right now. I stepped outside to take a little bathroom break, and sheesh, I was impressed. Very impressed by the winds that we're seeing right now. These prefrontal winds are already accelerating out of the south and southeast, and we still have several hundred miles at the very minimum before the front actually gets close enough to play a really relevant role on our weather pattern here in the Panhandle. So surface winds are definitely going to be blowing. Surface winds are definitely going to be blowing. It doesn't look like we have very many folks joining us right now, so this is going to be just another archival live stream, a little bit of a on-the-road update. We are on our final approach, though, for Tallahassee. We have, like I said, about an hour left. I took a little bathroom pit stop, sprinted off to the side of the street, and that's when I noticed lots of low cloud. Lots of low cloud out there. Really fast-moving low cloud, as a matter of fact. That low-level jet is situated right overhead, and I was very impressed with the prefrontal winds we're already seeing. Well above 25, 30 miles an hour. It's pretty crazy. We're entering Madison County right now. I just passed the sign. We're in Madison County, for those of you up there who might be viewing from this general area. Winds are definitely going, though. So it goes to show we have lots of turbulent mixing, lots of wind shear out there. I shared on my Instagram and TikTok stories not too long ago, incredible mid-level shear component with these storms, and upper-level shear component for that matter. We have due southerly winds down at the surface. These storms are definitely going to continue spinning. I do feel like we're going to see something. It might be a funnel cloud, it might be just some rotating thunderstorms, but we're definitely going to see something here as we go further and further to the west, and we get deeper into this warm air gradient that's just continuing to come out of the Gulf of Mexico. My tree snapped in half. How did that happen, Ethan? Good morning, by the way. Do you think today was overrated with the tornado threat? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was just explaining that. We have multiple tornadoes on the ground as we speak. They're just about 100 to 150 miles in front of me, so I'm missing the action. Maybe I should have pulled the all-nighter like I was thinking. We could be out a little further ahead of where we are currently, but there are lots of tornadoes occurring. That squall line, the frontal line, is very tornadic. I've been watching live streams, radar updates as I can while on the freeway with cruise control on, and that frontal line is definitely rotating. The leading edge is tornadic. You have micro-scale spin-ups occurring every couple of minutes almost on the leading edge of that thing. And the cells just out ahead of it are definitely tornadic as well. Reed Timmer, extreme meteorologist Reed Timmer, is out ahead of me in Destin, Florida right now, chasing a supercell. We have Mike's weather page a little bit further to the west of Tallahassee, so we're all flocking to the same general area. So I do think we're going to get some action later on, and I apologize, my hair is all messed up from it being outside and having the windows down. But there's a lot of chase coverage going on right now. There's a lot of folks up and out there. Winds are definitely blowing, and I don't mean just here. They're definitely going. Everywhere where that front is moving, you're very well within 40, 50 mile an hour winds. I've been seeing some camera footage post-frontal passage finally getting into a lit area, I can see just how much the winds are blowing. Lots of trees. This is what folks are warning me of. There's lots of trees on the interstate. We're on the 10 right now, headed west. Here's a rest area. I could have held it, I guess, for a couple more minutes and pulled into a rest area to live stream with you guys. But regardless, yeah. See, now I'm finally getting a little bit of visual. Since the street lights are on, I'm sure you can see me kind of passing them more or less. You can see the street lights going by. The winds are definitely up and running. Warm conveyor is on the move, and I wouldn't be surprised if my dash temp gauge continues to go up. I've been watching it closely, just to give you guys a little bit of an update. Earlier, when we first reported on the live stream and the coverage beginning with the initial start of the chase, leg 1, as we were on the 27 northbound in Central Florida, we were at 67 degrees. Then as I got into northern Central Florida, we dropped down to 62 degrees. And we haven't really changed where it is that we're situated. We haven't really gone too much further north from that position, and we're up to 65 degrees now within the hour. So a 3-degree warmth in the hour. I haven't had a chance to look at dew point temperatures, but I would imagine that our humidity is starting to go up now as well. I stepped outside when I was using my bath or taking my bathroom break, and I really didn't feel any chill in the air. It's definitely warming up. The humidity is slowly but surely starting to increase. So Florida Gulf is the main threat tonight. Gulf coastline, yes. 73 degrees where you are, Ethan. What was the biggest tornado you've seen in person? I've never seen a tornado in person. I've only had the misfortune as a weather enthusiast to see funnel clouds. That's it. Just funnel clouds. Hoping maybe we can change that today, or at least capture another funnel cloud in person. We'll see. These storms are definitely tornadic, though. Very impressive on the radar. The overshooting tops on these things are crazy, and they're being sheared to the east hundreds of miles from where the actual core of the storm is. Very impressive setup right now. We have the buoyancy. We definitely have plenty of shear, and that cold air is acting like a ramp, helping to guide these storms up. Mobile, Alabama, southern Alabama, the extreme eastern, or I should say western tip of Florida is getting it bad right now. There's a lot of severe weather. Lots of tornado-warned storms back to back to back. Yeah, look at this. The winds are definitely picking up. And we're still way out ahead of the front. I'm headed due west, and the winds are coming right out of the south. I would switch the camera around, but you guys would likely not see much of anything because of the terrible lighting out here, which is why I'm glad that we'll have the sun coming up in about an hour. Santa Rosa, okay, so there's a water spout out there as well. There's definitely a lot of tornadoes moving around out there in southern Alabama trying to cross into the Florida Panhandle. Correlation coefficient, CC, on the higher res radars that some of these folks have available are spotting touchdowns, spotting actual debris fields, debris balls with these tornadoes too, so they are damaging tornadoes. They already put out a day 4, day 5, 15. Do you think that could decrease since in day 2 or 3 we would still be in the cold zone? I've been investigating that. That's an excellent question. Initially, with the second system approaching this weekend, I really didn't think we were going to have the possibility of severe weather. I didn't think they would highlight anything because I figured we'd still be in the polar sector of the jets moving across overhead. But I've been looking a little bit closer at our temperature gradient over the Gulf of Mexico and particularly over the Florida Peninsula, and we kind of go stagnant. That low is going to move far enough to the north to where we'll still see some mixing of our temperature gradient and that polar air working its way south, but we're not going to see a whole lot of an air mass switch. It does seem like more or less we're just going to see a little bit of cooler air sinking down to the south in wake of that cold front, but once our next low gets going, that warm sector is going to reestablish itself, and the return flow out of the south and southeast is just going to come back up like it's doing right now. But Louisiana is just about all said and done with this situation. Arkansas is all done. Texas is definitely all done. They're cold and windy. Post-frontal conditions for them as of right now. I've been looking at least some of the obs in the large scale as I can look down at my phone. Alabama is definitely getting ripped right now. Southern Alabama, I should say. They got some strong winds probably to the north of where all this supercellular action is going on right now, but amazing. It's incredible what's going on right now. This is a true definitive outbreak. When you can watch tornado warning after tornado warning and tornado drop after drop within a few minutes of each other, outbreak conditions for sure. It takes a very volatile setup to get tornado-producing storm after tornado-producing storm like that. And like I said, Reed Timmer is honing in on a couple down to the south of the Pensacola-Destin Beach area. We have a few folks monitoring some storms inland and just to the south of the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Oh yeah, there's stuff blowing across the street right now. I wish I could show you guys, but there's very loose shrubbery, leaves, dead fall, winter leaves blowing across the street right now. Getting lifted, as a matter of fact. I can see them in front of me. Nothing too crazy. This isn't anything intense. Just mentioning that warm air advection is definitely ongoing, and it's firing big time. On our final approach to Tallahassee, I'm going to set up shop somewhere in Tallahassee. Hopefully the sun will start coming up. I can get an idea of what's happening above me. See how much of a mixture of low cloud and high cirrus blow-off we have from the storms to our west. I'm wondering if the cirrus that's way up in the upper levels of the atmosphere is going to help to reduce some of the buoyancy out here. I'm anticipating we might have to relocate a few times before we end up moving back east. Yes, definitely. Very dangerous setup, DPK, I agree. Large, dangerous tornado in the Panhandle. Who's chasing it? Who's got that right now? We're going for it, and luckily this car is driving like a champ. Still have about half a tank of gas. I still have time to actually stop at a gas station, so that's probably what I'll do. Get a snack, maybe a coffee, even though I have 2 more energy drinks in here. I'm definitely feeling the sleepies, though. Definitely feeling tired. Gonna have to hit another Alani new drink. By the way, this is not sponsored by Alani, but if Alani ever watches this, you should sponsor me. Yeah, big day ahead of us. Big day ahead of us. I do think we're going to see a lower risk for tornadoes, but there is going to be the possibility of at least funnel clouds and an isolated tornado or two as we get further and further westward. And the leading edge of that front can get closer. What I'm curious to see is how many more of those cells we get firing prefrontal, couple maybe 20 to 50 miles out ahead of the frontal axis, where your warm air advection is the strongest. I don't see the sun coming. Well, we still have about an hour. 6:40, 6:45 is usually about when sunrise is this day and age. Ponce de Leon in the Panhandle is looking at direct hit right now. And that's another tornado. So that's 4 tornadoes that I've seen since kind of tuning into live coverage and letting things charge and just listening on and off while driving. That's 4 tornadoes. Potentially 5, because there was a water spout indicated on radar to the south of Alabama. That's not good. I hope it's not huge. That is really not good. I have somebody tailgating me on an open freeway. I can't stand when people do that. There's literally no one in front of me and there's someone tailgating me. I don't understand why. Stupid. And I'm in the right lane too. Just go around me. But alright guys, what we're going to do is end the live stream here. Don't have too many people tuning in. It looks like either that or my YouTube is not updating very well. Just wanted to come on here with another archival. He was in a tornado about 10 minutes ago. Damn, we got to like kind of speed up the game here. I got to get a move on. Get up out there. Alrighty folks, we'll see you again here very soon. Within the next hour or 2, we'll go live again, or if there's any kind of particular updates I need to pass along to you. Trying to donate, but it's not working. Love your channel. Travis, you'll have plenty of opportunity to do so, or I believe you have an opportunity to drop it in the chat as well, or not in the chat, in the comments section. Some people I've seen do that before. I'm not too sure how that works. But for those of you just tuning in, now we have some folks dropping in. Final approach to Tallahassee. We're about maybe less than an hour away now. We should be about 45, 50 minutes away. That's where we'll posture for, we'll stay station or target area 1 just to get a feel for what's in front of us. And I do anticipate we're going to relocate a few times before boogalooing back to the east and headed back towards Central Florida to catch the squall line coming on the west coast. Praying that we don't hit too much traffic. I'm praying right now that it's as smooth of a drive back as it is going in. It's been glorious driving with no traffic out here. Got 10 to 6 on the clock, 65 degrees outside. We've seen about 3 degrees warmth, 3 degrees warming out there since headed west. So that warm front is still coming to the north. It's still slowly creeping in, and the more warm it gets down here at the surface, the more instability we'll have to tap into when that squall line and those prefrontal storms try to work their way through here. Oh, there's the infamous Perry, Florida. We're passing Perry, Florida, so this is right about where Idalia hit, more or less. We're kind of passing through the landfall area from Hurricane Idalia. I wonder if we'll spot any leftover damage or tree limbs and things like that. Yep, Madison, Perry, exit 251. Thank you very much, DPK. That's really, really appreciated, actually. Very, very much appreciated, because I've hit a couple tolls, and those are going to show up in a bill probably within the next couple of weeks from the Highway Patrol office out here in Florida. They love to send you those bills. Please pay by this date. It's like, come on. I haven't hit a toll in a long time since moving back to Florida. It's only around here. But alrighty, guys, it's going to be game time here in the next 2 to 3 hours. I will probably come at you with another live stream after sunrise so we can actually see what's going on. I'll probably take you outside with me as well. We'll get out of the car. I'll show you what's what in the Tallahassee area once I can find a decent spot to set up. I'll break out my lapel mic as well. I have it packed and fully charged in my bag here. And yeah, then we'll see what happens. Oh, that sign's torn up right there. I just noticed that. There is some leftover damage from Idalia up and through here. Very cool. We're passing through prior landfall territory here. Very neat. I'll keep DMing you throughout. Yes, please. Definitely, Ethan. I appreciate that. Definitely starting to see the winds picking up, though. That southerly component is definitely alive. And we're probably going to see winds increase from here, especially as the sun comes up and we get a little bit of surface heating as the morning progresses. So I'm going to estimate it's going to be 6 o'clock here in about 8 minutes, guys. Be on the lookout for another live stream around 7:30, unless, like I said, I break in earlier to reassess some of the model data and mention any kind of relocation. If we do end up relocating before 7:30, I'll go live again. Definitely be on the lookout on my Instagram, TikTok, any community posts on YouTube. I'll be sharing information there as well. It'll be a little easier as we're still en route. Got a road sign coming up here. Yeah, we're 50 miles away from Tallahassee right now, 50 miles away. So I'll keep you posted once we get into town, and we'll go from there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Main event closing in very soon, though. We'll see what happens from there. Several tornado warnings for Pensacola just now. Wow. I'm going to take a look at that here in a moment, but we'll see you guys here very soon, all right? Weather Center Nazario temporarily once again signing out.